Vicky here with you, and today we're here to make some cards. And for today's video, I'm going to be making some masculine cards. I know that I've done them in the past, well, fairly recently, and somebody had mentioned that they figured it was just like any type of card, like it wasn't screaming masculine, and that's okay. But to me, these are more masculine cards. Obviously you can use them for any type of occasion, so that's what I'm gonna be doing today. I figured I was gonna use some images from this book, from Reader's Digest. It's the fauna and flowers of North America. And so Patty Higgins asked if to share the type of cards I use, the base as well as the envelope size. I usually try to find either recycled cards that I find at the thrift store and I just reuse because they're blank, or I had purchased a while ago on Amazon these Dollard-des-ormeaux. It's 50, it's a set of 50, and it was A2 cards. So they're basically 4.25 inches by 5.5, and they have the envelopes already with them, which is 4.37 by 5.75. I don't usually make my envelopes just because I find so many cards at thrift stores that I really don't need to bother making my own envelopes. So that's usually why I don't. But there's nothing wrong with doing them if you want. I just prefer to use card bases that are already done. It just makes it a lot easier for me. I do make sometimes my own card, but then again, I would usually use pre-made envelopes because I find like big stash of them at the thrift stores, very inexpensive. And then I would just use whatever cardboard and make a base for a card with the cardboard. So I hope that that answers that question. We'll just pull out a few images that might be good. And I figure I usually end up making about 5 cards in 30 minutes increments, so that's probably what we're gonna end up doing. But I want enough that I have options, and then I can always put the images back in the book if I don't use them, or in a folder. So that's those. And what I did is I'm probably going to be using this card base just because it's nature, and I think it might be nice, but I don't quite know. So I went through my different paper packs and I pulled out papers that inspire me and make me think of more manly. So browns and blacks usually like to me feel more manly. So that's why I pulled out this. And then there's this one, which has some blues, but it's blues and grays, and I think it would go well. Like you can see here, it's a cowboy, so like to me that's more manly than some other cards. And then I pulled out this one, which has a lot of feminine in it. But there's some really nice yellows and browns, which I thought might be a nice contrast to some of the other colors. So like, you know, so that's why I pulled out those 3 paper packs. Now let's just see if I can find, before I start the timer, let me just pull out my bin of cardboard. So I have a big bin where I keep all my cardboard scraps, and so I will probably use that or some file folders. That might be nice as well. Even though I don't really, like, I have burgundy, but I don't think, like, I wouldn't put those two together. So we shall see. I would probably use more like browns and stuff. And I do have, like, in my stash, like this brown I think would be nice. So let's start the timer and see where this card session will take us. Simba is out and she's not impressed with the dogs. Andrew just left her out, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna have to bring her back in the room. So I have some black card base. I also have some of this. I just use, oh my god, this is gonna be a nightmare. Let me stop this and I'll be right back. Ah, boy. So yeah, Leo wanted to pass and Simba was just being mean and didn't want to let him pass, and she was just hissing at him, and so I had to intervene. So let's start the timer again. And let's hope that this time around we can actually get some stuff done. So I was thinking that maybe, because there's some little check marks and stuff, and I don't not necessarily want to see these, so I'm thinking that maybe I could cut the image out. Yeah, cut the image out and then glue it on some sort of cardstock, and then fussy cut that out to kind of remove some of those extra check marks. I could leave them. I usually leave them when I'm making postcards, because I can put the name of the animal or whatever. But I'm thinking this time around that it might be nicer not to have them. The one part here though that I'm kind of stuck is this little chunk here. So I'm gonna have to see if I can. Oh man, I've managed to lose one of my mats. I don't understand how I managed to do that. Just gonna take this book and use that as the base underneath my blade. Must be in the garage. I think I used it in the garage and then I didn't bring it back. Either that or it's in, oh, I've got one right in the back of me in a bag. Okay, so that will do the job. And I would like to be able to put this back. Yep. Okay, so here we go. And then I can decide what type of paper I want. Didn't like that, but I feel like it doesn't go with this brown. Might go better with that one, but still. That's the part with this cardstock. I really like it, but it's a bit difficult sometimes to match something on it. So I might just cover this whole thing up with a black. I think that would work better. and then I can do whatever I want on top. And I'm using this piece instead of the 6x6 because this one here I can probably fit a few cards in it, whereas the 6x6, once I've cut it, I'm going to be stuck with a smaller part, which is not going to be much help to me. Okay, so we're going to put this on top of that, just like so. And that's going to be my first thing. One thing too that you can easily do is just use a distressing tool. That would be very nice. We could do that actually. Just to fray the edges a bit, and might help give it a little bit more of a masculine feel. Like, I often find that vintagey and distress and woods and browns and that sort of thing usually makes me think of more manly. But like I said, this is a question of your own judgment and how you feel about it. Nobody else, no two people will have exactly the same feeling, you know, about something. So just giving you some of my reasoning and thinking, and then you can take it from there to whatever you want. Okay, so, and I think I might distress this again. In my case, I'm not going to put some sentiment just because I don't know what the occasion of the card would be. So often, if I really don't know what the occasion is going to be, I will just leave it blank. And you can always come back, like you can make a bunch of these cards and you can just come back later and just add a sentiment when you do know what it's going to be for. That's very easy, so long as you've left a certain space for it. But even like not putting a sentiment at all is totally fine as well. Like, you don't need to put sentiments on your cards because you're going to be writing whatever you want inside of it. So and so you could put a sentiment right there easily. And now I'm wondering if I want to I might want to highlight this, so I will just glue this on top of that and then fussy cut around the outside just to make it pop a little bit more on top of that paper, because I find that otherwise it would have gotten a bit lost. But again, you know, like, it's a question of what you want to do. Okay, so here we go. I could put a little place like this. And I said I wasn't going to put a sentiment, but now that I'm seeing this, I'm wondering if I should put you know, just a hello or something. These sentiments can be found in my Etsy store. They come in a set of French and English. And there's all kinds of different sentiments. So you've got the happy birthdays, you've got the hellos, you've got the thank you. So different options. And they're in all sorts of different fonts. And you can print them in many different ways. So just like it. Okay, so now I like this, but I'm feeling like it's missing a little bit of something. So I think I will edge this in some black soot. Just to, again, just distress it a bit more and make it more interesting. And I could cut this little piece down, but I'm not, because otherwise I'm gonna have to put it in my stash, and I really don't want to. I don't use it. So, and yeah, I like that a lot. I think it helps to finish this off. And then, you know how much of a fan I am of buttons. I'm thinking maybe a button would be nice. Or some sort of something. And I'm making cards like this. I often don't have like the full picture in my head until I'm actually making the card. And I really like using buttons because they're very inexpensive and you can get a lot out of them. Either that, or I do have some gears or other things that I could use that would be different. I want to use butterflies. I was thinking of something, but it's not going to work out. I do have some metal pieces. Where are my metal pieces? Sorry about that. Well, when in doubt, go for your first option, which is like buttons. Because they're the closest and the easiest. And I will use some twine because why not? I just think it helps to finish this thing off. Sorry about that. Swallowed my saliva wrong. Well, this might be a fun one. Do that, or like more of a black. I think just one would be good. And I just like using the little twine just because I think it finishes it off better. But you don't have to. Just like the look of it. And I think that will be it for that one. Put some Suquan tape on top, on the bottom, so that it stays put. And voila, we've got the first card. Very easy, no big stress, and like I said, it's up to you what you think, but I find that it looks masculine, which is what I was looking for, so kind of like that option. I just saw something here. It might be fun. That might be a fun embellishment on a card. It's the thing of a zipper. I'm just gonna keep it close because I don't know, it's calling to me. And I could have put some of this underneath. I didn't, but it's up to you. Okay, so then the next card, could use this image because it's already pretty much all set. And cut this off. See, like, it really doesn't need much in this case to be complete. I might just do that. So let's see. And bring it here. And it's gonna go to here. And because the image is so big, I don't really need to use any other type of paper. Whoops, I forgot one of the cuts. Okay, so I could do that and then just put my image, and that to me would be sufficient. I'm just gonna do the edging. And I'm just gonna do the bottom part and the top part because the other part is the image is gonna be lying on top, and so I don't want to do the edging on the image. So I'm gonna glue this down. And cut this here. I didn't do too good of a job. And just gonna put my image on top. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but I think wildlife, it just I don't know, it just screams more masculine. So I would just leave it like that. And if you wanted to put a sentiment, you could put like a little piece here and put the little hello or something, or you don't have to, but that's an option if you're looking for it. Now the next one, let's do this little guy. Just gonna get closer to it since I had to cut some of the image in order to remove that other part. So I'm going to remove some of the extra white that I'd left, just to make it a little bit more uniform. There we go. And for this one, okay, so we could again use this here. Let's see if we cut it down. Pencil mark. Okay, so I would have something like this. I would really love to use this part here. So I could line this up, but then it's gonna look strange because of the fact that there's so much black already, and black on black is not gonna really show. So what else do I have that I could use? I'm not finding much that I like here. Maybe this. Yeah, it's only paper, so if I don't like it, I don't like it. It's not like it's a big deal. Make that option. And then what about about using that. I'm gonna have to come back and trim some of it, but at least gonna be able to do some of it with the guillotine. Okay, so taking the option of using up all those little leftover pieces. And you know what? Because there's a little edge here and it's bothering me, so I'm just gonna distress the edge so it's gonna look like it's done on purpose and it won't bother me anymore. And I'm gonna do the same thing with this. I kind of like the white border. I could remove it, but I like it, so I'm not going to. So we didn't make as many cards. We will have made 3. But I think it's still a pretty good number of cards for half an hour. Especially since I had no real plan. Well, I had some plans, but not, like, I wasn't quite sure what. And what I really like as well is the fact that we've used up like the full piece of paper that I had cut. There's only like this tiny little piece left, so that's really cool, because I don't like having the leftover pieces. And I used up some of my cardstock that was in my bin for a while. So that's fun as well. And you know what? I'm just gonna go for it. Because why not? It's my card. And I can use it up and not throw it in the bin, I will. So, do I want to put it at the bottom? Kind of in the middle. I think at the bottom. So, it's going to kind of be a little display of my little sign. And then we can put the hello on top. And the hello seems a bit too white and too pristine, so I'm going to do the same thing I did before, and I'm going to distress it just a tiny bit. And I still have some ink, I believe, on my sponge, so I won't need to ink it up again. Just go around it. And then we can just line this up. And call that done. So these are the 3 cards we've done today. I'm looking forward to reading your comments and knowing what you think about it. Did you think they looked masculine? Is it the type of cards that you would have thought of doing? Did you get some inspiration out of it? Just, you know, I would really love to know. Because I love to make stuff that is useful for you guys and that you actually enjoy watching. So when you let me know what you think, it always helps me to make the next content for you guys. So that's it. Love you guys. Stay safe and see you soon. Bye.